Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to European Truck Simulator 2, and welcome to Rotterdam. Rotterdam, more or less, Europort, sort of. It's a long story. No, it really is a long story. Fortunately, I'm going to have a minute to tell it to you. As you can see, we got a new truck. But we really got a new truck. Oh my goodness, it's that one. There's been some retail therapy going on. And we got the trailer. I need to mess with it a little bit, get the color to match up just right. But yeah, oh my goodness. It's been... Some lights on here. Brake is off. Let's go. We're taking ice cream down to southern Germany. So, what's it all about? What are we doing in Rotterdam? I'll tell you. So we were making our way from Ljubljana to Verona. And we had to stop, end of the episode. We had just gone for 30 minutes and we pulled over by the side of the road. We didn't need to sleep, but we did need to wrap up. So, when I hopped back in the truck, we were only a couple hundred kilometers from Verona. It didn't take very long to get there at all. And I thought, well, why don't we just hook up while we're here? Why don't we find another cargo and hook up? We're trying to make our way to Reims, right? Reims, that's in France. We were trying to make our way to Reims. And I found a cargo going to Reims. Beautiful. And I got there and I got clever. I couldn't, nothing is ever good enough. I've always got to be messing with things. Always. So I picked a trailer. I picked a KAST, a carry trailer. And now we got a mod trailer going on a mod truck and I couldn't hook it up. I couldn't. I tried and I tried and I couldn't hook it up. And I sort of, I ruined it, I guess. That's the best way to say it. I ruined it. Had I tried once and then ended the episode, we would have been fine. Had I tried a few times and succeeded, we also would have been fine. But what happened was, what had happened was I tried many, many times and I never did succeed. And it was just a really awkward moment to end the video on. And so I decided to record again, going from Verona to, well, somewhere toward Reims. Doesn't necessarily have to be Reims, but somewhere in the neighborhood. And in a fit of retail therapy, I decided to buy this truck. And this truck, let me tell you about it. So the way that I found ETS, is through ATS, and the way that I found ATS is a video by the mighty Slap Train, who normally records car videos, car racing, sim, and game videos. And he was recording a truck video when ATS was released, just for fun. He has a lot of fun in his videos. And I thought, that's cool. I'll have a bit of that. So I got that ATS. And then I discovered these mods, this mod life. And one of the first mods that I found for ATS, I wasn't into ETS yet, but for ATS was this truck, the RJL Scania. And of course, the first truck you have to build when you're ridiculous, before you know what time it is the long line. Long line, long liner, long line. It's the big uns. There's really no reason for it, and as you sort of get a little bit more familiar with the game and learn more about trucks and trucking and that sort of thing, you realize it's not a practical truck. It's too long, and you can get this amount of power in a much shorter wheelbase and avoid a lot of the hassles that this great big truck brings. But it's still a fun truck. So when I got into ETS, of course, you get the RJL Scania going, and you have access to this truck, but you rarely deploy it. In fact, in all the time that we've been recording these videos for the channel, I don't think I've owned or driven. Are they yielding? Are they? I believe they are. So they're not. Okay, I see ya. I see ya. So we've really never had reason to use this truck, and until today I didn't even own one in this profile, which has, what, 70,000 kilometers of driving in it, 80 hours or so. But I just wanted to, And the truck ended up costing, it was almost €500,000, but we had €2 million because we've got all those drivers on. And then I decided to make a matching trailer for it. So the first trailers that I looked at, I found a B-double. Actually, the ones that we have on here. No. Yes. No. It was a Jumbo Reefer HCT. And I thought, that's just a long single. It's not a tandem or anything. Let's go ahead and do that. So I built it up. It was €270,000, and the only place that I could put it was a garage in Scandinavia. Oh, all right. So then I think, well, the B double you can drive in Europe, right? Continental Europe, not just Scandinavia. So I build the B double that we have on right now, and it says now you can only put it in Scandinavia, Germany, Holland. Son of a. All right. So then I built another one, and that one we can put anywhere. So I now have the new RJL Scania, the new trailer that mostly matches in color. I need to tweak that color a little tiny bit. It's not exact, and I haven't even skinned the truck yet. I teleport us to Verona. Everything is super cool, and I record the video, and I just, when I'm doing a quick review of it, I just don't like it. It just doesn't work for me. So that's twice I've recorded now. So somebody had mentioned in a comment, you know, you can relocate your home city, and I was thinking about that. I like Reims, and I like the skins that we've made, but we picked Reims just randomly because we have access to the special transport out of Reims, and I wanted our home base to have that access. Now it doesn't really matter because we've discovered so many garages and been to so many cities that we can haul special transport jobs more or less whenever we want. But before we had explored the map, I wanted that option. But we don't have to be in Reims anymore. So I thought, you know, I really want to drive this B double trailer. So I relocated my driver to Rotterdam, bought a garage there, relocated my driver, relocated my trailer, my B double trailer, hooked it up. Everything is fine. Started recording, went to go pick up the ice cream and hit a gridlock, as you often hit in this part of the world, and waited for it to clear and was chatting a little bit, and then it just didn't clear. And after like 5 minutes, again, like, the video's ruined. We've just been sitting here for 5 minutes. That's not good video. So finally, we are going to get on the road with our damn ice cream. How's everybody doing? Sunday for me. It's Monday for you. Here we go. Oh my. It's this simulated long-haul trucking lifestyle. I'll tell you what, man. It takes a toll. It takes a toll, but ultimately, just a video game, and nobody cares. So I saw a couple things since we talked in ATS. I saw a couple things. I saw NASCAR Heat 4. Looks like a super cool game not sim. And I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think because of how deeply NASCAR is involved with iRacing and the whole esport push. We're going to get off here, or we're going to go straight? Well, we can't get off here, so we're going straight. That's my second choice, number 2. NASCAR is really pushing a lot of the big NASCAR races on iRacing. They will have somebody from NASCAR do a call into the booth, like during qualifying and stuff. They're really invested in that. So I don't think they would, because it's the official game, I don't think they would have an official sim competing with iRacing when iRacing is already connected to NASCAR. It does such a good job for them. I think NASCAR is it's probably tied for sports cars with what is best represented in iRacing. It's like open wheel is sort of I don't know, it made a push, but it's not really gaining a lot of traction. They're bringing touring cars in, I just saw in a patch, but a lot of things just aren't, like rallycross. It's there, but it doesn't have the same presence as sports cars and NASCAR do. So I can't imagine NASCAR, the corporation, really doing anything to sort of take a bite out of their own market share that they have in iRacing, when iRacing already has the market sort of cornered on that realistic sim life, for stock cars. I think, could be wrong, of course, it's happened before, but it looks like a super cool game. I'm not going to buy it. I have no interest in it personally, but it looks really good. And the other thing I saw is some gameplay from Grid, the new Grid that's coming, and it looks like a game. It looks like Forza. It looks super cool and super fun. I also probably will not buy it. It looks like a gamepad game, and it looks really good. And it's weird to say that because it sounds like you're disparaging it. It just looks like a racing game, not a sim. Play it on gamepad. But I mean that sincerely. It looks really good. And I'm thinking back to that quote that I read from the Project Cars 2 developer, and I'll have to paraphrase because I don't have the quote in front of me, but essentially what he said was we tried to make a super realistic, super immersive sim, and it ended up being too hard for people that like to play Forza and not hard enough for people that like to play R Factor 2. It didn't really resonate with anybody. Next time around, we're just going to make a game. And I look at this grid gameplay footage, and I think, tell me to go straight. Yeah, that's a fuel stop, and we could sleep over there. I thought that was maybe for truck traffic only. We're okay. So looking at the new grid, as hard as F1, the F1 franchise, F1 2019, as hard as that sim is, made by Codemasters, as hard as Dirt Rally 2.0 is, made by Codemasters, I think good on them, man. Right? Spread it around. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. They make plenty of very difficult, very challenging sims. It looks like they're going to make a game, and I think that is awesome. It looks like the kind of game you can sit on the couch, drink a beer, pass the controller around with your buddies. You know, who does best in a 3-lap race, who posts the best lap time, that sort of thing. Because the gameplay that I saw, first off, it was third person. I did not see any first person at all. And the other thing I did not see was, how do I want to say this? The first footage that I saw was LMP cars. I'm pretty sure they were LMP1, just bashing into each other repeatedly, right? Like Wreckfest style. And I thought that's got to be a game. That can't be a sim, because any type of sim, you know, if you're trying to capture all the aerodynamics and all the little winglets and all the, you know, all the downforce on those cars. Well, first off, if you were bashing like that in a sim race, you'd be DQ'd. Or, where are we going here? I think we're going this way. Or you would just damage your car to the point that you no longer had the downforce that you needed to be competitive. You just can't do that in a realistic sim. So, like I said, it looks like a game, but it looks like a really good game. And I'm not a Codemasters fanboy, but I do think they're a cool company, and I like their products, and I hope they do well with it. And I hope NASCAR Heat 4 does well too. They took a year off, did they not? There's been a bit of a gap, I want to say. A bit of a hiatus. So we'll see how that goes. But, and then the other sims I've been waiting on, the other games and sims, just really sort of languishing. I'm seeing things pushed from Q3 2019 to Q4 2019, and some of them have been pushed back into 2020, so who knows what's going on there. Funding problems, development problems, licensing problems, who knows. But we'll get them when we get them. And you know what? If we don't, we got plenty of sims to stay busy with. Good grief, this is a big truck. Driving through the twisties. Love it. Keep left. You got it. So what else is going on? You know, I haven't skinned this truck yet, and I realized something. I realized when I was getting ready to skin it, and to skin the trailer as well, I was thinking about Giants Editor, which obviously is Farm Sim, different developer, different sim, different developer. But I was thinking about the availability of Giants Editor and how Giants really makes it, I mean, they don't hide it from you. It's really easy to find. It's supported by the developer. It's updated regularly. And you use it to make maps and mods. Very cool. There's nothing similar that I've ever found from SCS Soft, which is weird because Giants is kind of they're sort of screw-ups as a company, and SCS Soft, I think, is much better tuned into their fans and is just a better run company. So I'm really curious about that, why there's no officially sanctioned skin tool. There's the ETS Studio, which is many years old now. They've got a new one that I've never been able to get it to work, and I've even, you know, they've got the new one and they straight up say this is beta and unstable. If you're not able to get it working, try the one under this. And I've tried the one under this, and then under this, and then I've gone back, you know, many iterations, many V's, and I can't get the thing to work. So I'm using old ETS Studio, or I'll just find somebody else's skin and unzip it and put my own textures and images in it and use that, you know, give it a new name. But it's interesting to me that there is not better support for skinning. You would think that that would be something that SCS would really be interested in, and it doesn't seem that difficult to implement. You know, that there would just be a skin editor that you can download from the SCS Soft blog that is updated. You know, modders can put their trucks and trailers in it, and when you want to make a mod, you just essentially the same way you use trading paints in iRacing. Template is available. You build your image file, and then you click a couple buttons, and it wraps it around and compresses it and zips it and does a diddly doot, and then it's done. And there's nothing like that for Truck Sim, at least from the developer. And like I said, that the ETS Studio, at least the one that I'm familiar with, is many, many years old, and they do say they have a new product, but I cannot get it to work. So we'll get this going. Now, we are in Rotterdam. Is this going to be our new home port? Or are we going to have a different... Is this going to be a division? Because if this is our new company, we're going to need all new everything. So we'll see. Wow, this is a bit of a tricky hill. We're like right in between gears. There we go. Maybe. God, this is a mighty hill. So we'll see. We'll get it going. I have no familiarity with Holland really at all. I've spent time there. I've spent time in Amsterdam and Rotterdam and Haarlem. I know of it, you know, but I really don't know any history or culture or anything else. So I don't know how comfortable I am building a Dutch logo and logo type for our trucking company if we were to relocate to Rotterdam. I mean, we have relocated to Rotterdam. I just don't know if I'm going to bring all the trucks over as far as skins. We'll see. We'll see. And I think Rotterdam may actually be a departure point for special transport as well, which is all we really wanted Reims for in the first place. So we'll see. We'll get her all going. We'll get her all going. It's weird when I record a video more than once. Did we just miss a turn? Oh, son of... I think we did. Yeah, because this is that part of the world where if you're going to get off, you need to, like, get over early. I think we'll just go right down here to Liège and turn around. Yep. Yep, and I think... Has it stopped raining? Maybe. Yep, it has. So we can... Whoa. 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 Slow it down. Slow it down. And we'll get the lights turned off here, too. Yep. We're going to have to take this ridiculous truck. Like, oh, my goodness. All right. So it goes. You know what? If you don't want these things to happen, pay attention to your exits. And I'm talking to myself when I say that, not you. You didn't miss your exit. I did. What else is going on? I got a comment from somebody. I got an unusual comment. Unusual. You know the thing about YouTube comments? It's more or less just text. That's all it is. Somebody sent you a text. And the thing about texts in 2019 is you don't really want to analyze them. You just want to read it and move on. Because it's... I don't want to say it's not going to make any sense, but it's just a few words that somebody chucked at you. It's not, you know... It's not a big deal. And what'll happen if you read too deeply into it is it becomes like the number 23, right? You remember that movie, number 23? The guy started thinking he was seeing 23s everywhere, and then because he was looking for them, he started seeing 23s everywhere. He went crazy. So you read a text, you read a comment, it's like, well, maybe it means this. Ah, but maybe it means this. Oh, but and you just get yourself all like, calm down, son. So the comment was, there's tons of mods in the mod hub. And I was like, well, yeah, man, I know. It's the mod hub. Of course that's where the mods are. But this video that he posted it in is many months old, and I think, I mean, I'm not going to go back and rewatch it. Rewatch my own video. That's kind of creepy. But I think I may have said something to the effect of, there are less mods for 19 than there are for 17, which is a true fact. And it was several months ago. And at the time, there were even fewer mods for 19 than there are now. So I'm not saying this cat was wrong. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't know where he's coming from. Or it could be ironic. He could be sarcastic. He could be trolling. He could just be dumb. Who knows? Or he could mean something completely different. He might have mistyped it. I don't know. But it was just an odd comment. And, whoa, big swing. It's just an odd comment, and it kind of got me thinking. I don't know, man. I really do enjoy this, and as I'm getting more and more comments and interacting with people more and more, I think that's going to be, I don't want to say the most fun, but I think that's going to continue to be a good part of doing this is, well, it is social media. I guess that's the kind of a given that there would be a social component to it, but it's cool, man. It really, really is. Something else that we can think about. Kat says there's mods on the Mod Hub. He's right, but when you think about Truck Sim that we're in right now, arguably the two biggest mods, at least for me, is Pro Mods, which is not in the Steam Workshop. I know Steam Workshop and Mod Hub, two different things, but you know what I mean. It's not officially supported from the developer. And yet it sort of is, because I feel like SCS really does make the patch available to the Pro Mods crew weeks or months ahead of time, so they can do all the things they need to do, because Pro Mods is massive. It really is. And some of the stuff I know they can do, they can macro it, they can do it in bulk, but I think some of it needs to be done manually. And that's hundreds or thousands of hours of work. You can't do that in a couple weeks. Not unless you got like a staff of 30, So I do think SCS Soft makes the patch available to them. So there's some interplay there. Jazzy Cat packs, I think that all comes down to copyright, international copyright and licensing, because SCS Soft has their own made-up internal companies that don't step on anybody's toes. They're legally in the clear, but then the Jazzy Cat packs brings in these real logos from trucking companies all over Europe. I don't think any of them are licensed. So I feel like SCS Soft, I mean, it could be they don't even know about the guy, or it could be that Jazzy Cat doesn't want to put his mods up on Steam Workshop. Who knows? But for one reason or another, two of the best mods for Truck Sim are not in the Steam Workshop. And then on the Farm Sim side, there are a lot of fantastic mods that never make it to the Mod Hub. Either they're not permitted, or they have scripts or licensing, who knows. But they ain't in there. They're just not in there. And that is, where does that leave us as gamers? Because going back to like talking about, some type of skinning tool or skinning studio being included from the developer's website, why don't they do that? Do they not know? Are they not able to implement it? Is it trickier than I think? Who knows? But for mods, FSUK, which is defunct now, it's gone, but FSUK tested mods, which I think is super cool, because plenty of these mod sites, they don't test mods. I think it's more like, it's just a download site. It's like Google Drive. I can put anything I want up on Google Drive. I can put malware on Google Drive and post a link to it. If you download it, joke's on you. Now, in fairness, Google Drive would probably catch that and either not let me upload it or not let you download it, but you see what I'm getting at. So there's plenty of mod sites where you see a mod, the picture looks good, okay, let's check this out. You download it, you unpack it, and it's an FS17 mod. All they did was swap the number over for FS19. The thing won't load, and you sort of don't want it to load, because if it does somehow load, if you can somehow click on it in the store, all it's going to do is crash your game and potentially destroy your save game. And nobody at that mod site tested that. Nobody knows that. It's you know what I mean? It's a total mystery. So FSUK did test, and that's why they didn't have that many mods, because they filtered out all the crud. And I think a lot of those mod sites don't, and so we don't want to go there, but there aren't that many sites as good as FSUK was, so we can't go there. So we sort of need to step through that minefield as gamers, as consumers. We sort of need to step through there. And there are good sites, there definitely are. And one of the things that I do is I go to the SCS Soft blog and find the modders page for that mod, whatever that mod may be, and there is typically a direct link to their... Why do we keep dropping frames? Come on, game. There's typically a direct link to where they want you to download the mod from, and that's the one I go to because, first off, it's the one they link to, which means they're going to get paid. And also, I know there's been nothing added to it, you know what I'm saying, by a shady person. I don't want my gaming laptop mining Bitcoin. But other than that, if you just go to a site and start clicking on mods, you really don't know what you're getting. And I know that's driven some people out of modding. They've become so frustrated with it, with the way that, once you post a mod anywhere, some slapdick is sure enough going to change a couple things and start uploading it and trying to get that penny per download, that nickel per download, whatever it is. They're going to try to get that for themselves. So it's tricky for us as consumers. And thinking about what that cat said, yeah, definitely. There's tons of mods on ModHub, but there are tons of good mods, solid mods, well-made, reliable, clean, fast, all the things that we could possibly look for in a mod. There's plenty of those that are not on the ModHub. And there's no real guidebook for that for us as gamers, as consumers. You just need to kind of step through it yourself and, whoa, going way too fast. Keep your antivirus up to date and do your malware scans regularly. And I have a bunch of extensions in Chrome. I have pop-up blockers and script blockers and tracking blockers and all kinds of things. And some of these sites you go to, and those various extensions, they rest up in the top bar, and they'll just light up like fireworks. Hundreds of bad things going on behind the scenes when you try to go to a site, and it'll block them. It'll prevent those bad things from happening. But if you are not running those kinds of extensions, those sites will really take advantage of you. So it's we're rolling the dice, but what are you going to do? These games would not be the same without mods. Although I have to say, ETS is certainly coming along with the DLC, and I have played it without pro mods, and there's enough DLC now. And I also feel like they're adding some roads to every patch. I know on the ATS side, they typically announce that. Like, they'll say we added a highway between this place and this place, and we corrected the extension from here to that other freeway or whatever. But I feel like that's happening in ETS as well. They just maybe don't mention it. But I feel like it's there, and they're doing things like tightening up the road signs and correcting the night glow and the fonts and just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of little details that I would play this game without pro mods. If pro mods suddenly, became defunct, I don't know, there was never an update to pro mods. You can either stay in 1.36 with pro mods, 1.35. You can stay in 1.35 with pro mods 2.41, or you can roll forward to 1.36 and never use pro mods again. I think at this point I might risk it. It's a pretty big, comprehensive, you know what I'm saying, robust map. There's a lot going on there. Now, Jazzy Cat packs, I don't know. That's a tricky one, because that's, once you start seeing those same SCS Soft made-up company logos over and over, and I'm not, when I say that, I understand why they do it. It's for licensing, and they're just staying in the clear legally. And they did go through the time to make up a lot of really legit-looking companies. They just haven't made up hundreds of them. And the Jazzy Cat packs do have hundreds of liveries in there, trucks and liveries, and the buses and the B-doubles and everything else. So you can take a trip, you can drive 500 kilometers and never see the same livery twice as you would, in the real world. And it's a can't be unseen thing. Once you spot those same SCS Soft companies going by over and over, I wouldn't say that it ruins it for you, but it's kind of an immersion buster. So, those two mods really, for me, really changed the game. But I think I could do without pro mods if I had to. I don't have to. I don't want to. But if I had to, I think I could make do. Let's get some lights on here. Beautiful. But I am, I'm a relatively recent convert to Steam. I thought it was hokey. I thought it was unnecessary. But the workshop alone makes... Ooh, careful. The workshop alone makes Steam worth it. I mean, the patches, the updates, everything. The fact that it's portable, touch wood, you have a hard drive crash or your system explodes or whatever. I mean, you're going to be doing some reconfiguring when you get your new one. But once you get Steam downloaded, the Steam client, it's more or less just clicking on games and hitting install. And then, go do something else. Go to the gym, go watch a movie, and let several hundred meg meg, several hundred gig. Let a couple terabytes of games download while you do something else. You don't need to be sitting there, swapping DVDs in and out and doing all the things we used to have to do in the old days to install a game. They'll just drop right in, and a lot of yeah, we can say a lot of, yeah, I think a lot of games do have they back up your tunes in the cloud. So if you do have a hard drive crash, if you do lose everything, not only can you get your games back fairly quickly, but in many cases you can get your profile back. Ooh, where are we going here? It looks like we're going yes. Are we? Yeah, we are. Whew, okay. Not every time, but you can very often get your profile back as well. And I try to, every Friday, I try to do a backup of my docs, which for me, with all the stuff that's in there, mods and what have you, it's about 50 gig. It takes, I got USB 3.0 to my backup hard drive, so it takes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever. But I do that, and that's the majority of my save games are on there as well. So again, if something terrible happened, I wouldn't lose all my mods, which is, that's kind of a weird one, because we pick up mods, here and there, a couple a day, now and then. But you think about a year of that, a few a day, that's 1,000 mods. And some of them, you would never be able to find again. Because you found them accidentally the first time, you might not have been looking. I know people keep spreadsheets and that sort of thing. I don't. If I lost my mods, I would be starting over again from scratch. So that backup, I think, is critical. But the point is, if I have a point at all, and I might not, but if I did, it would be Steam is definitely worth it, and the workshop and keeping everything updated is just such a different world than gaming was 10 years ago. And I'll say this every episode, man, it's a fantastic time to be in gaming. It really, really is. And I'm really looking forward to what the next few years bring. I think it's going to be amazing with ray tracing, with the RTX cards and ray tracing cards becoming more affordable once we get through the holidays. It's just going to be, the coolest. Can't wait. So I thought our trip was going to be done a little bit sooner than it was. We're going the right way, are we not? Yeah, I certainly hope we are. And we're going to where? Oh, I can't even remember. But we've been rolling about 30 minutes. So let's pop up a map here and see how far we have to go. Carefully. Oh, not too far at all. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm doing too many things at once. Trying to zoom back out. Get rid of that. There we go. Now we can accelerate again. Okay. So we've got about 5 minutes to go, I would say. And because this is a dolly trailer, sort of, technically it's a dolly trailer, we should have a pull-through when we get where we're going. So we will just do a quick delivery and we'll be done. Done. So, yeah, man, it's a cool time to be in gaming. I am leaning back into iRacing, I have to say, and that is still the most intense gaming experience that I have ever had, ever. It's crazy. It's so committing. I don't know what to compare it to, but I mean, I've been in really super intense races in the F1 franchise. I've been in super intense races in Assetto Corsa Competizione. I think those are the two. Oh, maybe Race Room. Yeah. Race Room has really good AI. Race Room does not have rain or day-night cycle. Concentrating. F1, obviously super intense. It's just so manic fast, just snapping the car left to right like a crazy person. Assetto Corsa Competizione does have things like rain, and you got to get into pit strategy and other things that you don't really need to deal with in something like Race Room, which is, you do have to do pit stops, you do have to do tire changes, but it's not, you don't have to do them sort of impromptu. You can always kind of plan them. You don't have to deal with things like putting on wets Should I try to wait for this rain to pass and just slither around on slicks and not make 2 pit stops? You know, various things like that. It's been... This is the one. This is when it gets me. Oh, no, they button hooked me. Yes, no? Yeah, I think we do get over. Yeah, we do. Oh, okay. Almost did it again. It looks like it's going to shoot you off to the right rather than tracking along the main freeway. And so I tend to always try to wait for the next one, but it's like there isn't a next one. This is the one. Get off here. Anyway, none of that compares to the intensity of being in a race with 20 other people. And I don't know what it is. I mean, I can speculate. There's certainly plenty of things that we can kind of guess at. It's the exposure factor. You know, you don't want to look like a jamoke in front of colleagues and peers. I think there's also the inevitability. You know, you can't pause. Once the race starts, the race starts. There's no rewind. There's no do-over. You know, it's whatever your result is, you're going to own it. So it's an extremely intense experience. And also this new Season 4, 2019, the patch, the one that brought in the touring cars, and I believe Circuit Catalunya, the F1 circuit, or what I think of as the F1 circuit. But the tire model is different, and you really have to heat your tires for like a good 2 laps now. And if you're in a race, I mean, they do a formation lap, but your tires aren't fully up to temp, and the pressures aren't up. So your first couple laps, you're really sliding all over, and there's a lot of people taking a lot of chances, and there's a lot going on in an iRacing race, and it is super, super intense. I was in it, really in it, doing a couple races a day for several months, and then I sort of stepped back from it a little bit and have been focused more on the F1 franchise and the Dirt Rally franchise. But I think I'm fixing to lean back into iRacing. This one? Yep, looks like this one. Okay. I think I'm fixing to lean back in. Ooh, this is narrow. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay, we got it. So we'll see how that goes. And I did finish my MX2 season in MXGP 19. And I think I'm going to take a break from that game. I don't think I'm going to jump right into the 450 season. And when I finish my season in MotoGP 19, same thing. I don't think I'm going to start another season right away. So I think that'll free up some time to dabble in iRacing again. And I am looking forward to it, but it is, I mean, for lack of a better word, it's just intimidating. That sim is no joke. And I know people give it some crap because the graphics aren't so great, and you know, the safety rating system and the splits and how they, you know, all of it. I know people find things to complain about, and it's not a perfect sim. There is no perfect sim, but it's a really good sim, and it is intense. So I think, wow, another 45-minute video. I didn't plan it that way. We're at 38 right now. By the time we drop off, we'll probably be close to 45, but so it goes. Green light, swing it wide. Beautiful. So I suppose just for nostalgia, we will try to head south. Oh, I guess south. We'll head southwest, and we will try to go to Reims, even though we have really no reason to now because it's sort of not our home base anymore. But we'll head down that way just to check that box. Right, because after we made our great big loop all the way around from Iceland all the way out to Russia, down to Cyprus, and then up, we made that massive loop of Europe. We may as well check that last box and finish where we started back in Reims. Although really, we sort of started in Trinity in the Channel Islands. So maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I never know what I'm doing. I mean, we started this episode halfway between Ljubljana and Verona in a Mercedes Antos, and we're finishing it driving from Holland to Germany in this ridiculous 4-axle Scania with a B-double on. So things never go the way I planned them to. Right. Through here. I'm going to take a left. Fantastic. I am ready to turn left. GPS voice guy. Here we go. Big left. And then I think... where is it? Is it around back? Oh, we don't need to find a new route, son. Can we even get back there? Oh, my goodness. Alright. Here we go. Put the lift axle up. And I don't know that we want to go this way. But it's too late now because we can't turn this thing around. I can't turn this thing around. Maybe someone else could, but I can't. And I couldn't imagine being a truck driver in real life, getting into a parking lot like this, and just having to figure it out. Now it says it's behind us. I thought it was over here, but I don't think there is an over here. Yeah, does it go all the way around? Are we in the wrong place? Moment. We sure are. Okay. Well, that explains it. Here's your problem. You're in the wrong place, son. Okay. So, now, can we get out of here? This is what happened. Oh, man. This is what happened in Verona when I pushed it just a little too far. Just a little too far and tried to hook up to that other trailer and everything went tits up. That's how they get you. We can get rid of this now. Don't need that. So we go through here. And we got to do a crazy swing back out onto the highway just a little bit. Oh, yeah, this box right here should have been a giveaway. If they're offering a job, then there's no job to drop off. Is that right? Cut it this way. No traffic there. No traffic there. Might have to mount the curb. Maybe not. Oh, just a little. Just a little. Okay. So come out here. You good people need to get out of my way. Swing it in here. There it is. There it is. All right. Just over here. And we'll just slip this right in here. Beautiful. 43 minutes, as I suspected. All right. Just get right here. Give it. There it is. Right, so neutral. Set the brake. Parking lights on. Engine off. Let's see how we did. There we go. Made a little bit of money. And we got some points. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of European Truck Simulator 2. We'll see you next time. Take care now.